Hello and welcome. Today we have a nice gentle flow to celebrate the full moon in Aries. We have a focus on shoulder mobility, so we have a few exercises to kind of warm up the shoulders and then moving on to a nice gentle flow. So we will begin in a wide child's pose, so bringing big toes together, walking knees wide, and then bringing the forehead onto the mat. And if you can, reaching the arms out in front and allowing the chest to sink down towards the mat. And just allowing the body to settle. Softening through the inner thigh, seeing if you can just reach the bottom a little bit closer to the heels. And beginning to take slightly deeper breaths. So really filling up the lungs, breathing into the back of the ribs with each inhale. And then slowly exhaling and seeing if you can melt the heart space a little bit closer to the earth. And really expanding through the rib cage with your in-breath. And then releasing with the out-breath. And just taking a couple more breaths like this. Just really slow, expansive breaths. And making this your last one. And then beginning to come up onto the fingertips, so you're opening through the armpit and just seeing if you can sink the heart space back down towards the mat. And then coming back onto the palms and threading the right arm underneath the left, palm facing up. You should feel that stretch through the outside of the shoulder. And then bringing that right arm back and threading the left underneath the right this time. And then bringing yourself back again. And then walking both hands over to the left, bringing the right hand on top of the left. Sinking the chest down. And then walking hands back to center. And then this time taking them over to the right, left hand on top this time. So we're opening through the left side of the body. And then taking hands back to center and then pushing up to find all fours. And then just taking a few cat-cows. So inhale, lifting the eye gaze, dropping the belly. And then exhale, pushing the floor away, dropping chin to chest. Inhale as we lift the eye gaze, sending that tailbone high. And then exhale, really pushing the space between the shoulder blades to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, navel draws to spine. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then coming back to find a neutral spine and bringing the left fingertips behind the head. We'll inhale as we lift the elbows, so we're taking a spinal twist. And then exhale, tapping the left elbow to the inside of the right arm. Inhale as we lift through the elbow. And then exhale as we tap. Inhale as we lift that left elbow, trying to keep the rotation just through the spine, so trying to keep pelvis straight. And then exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then this time, inhale, reaching the left arm to the sky, reaching high with those fingers. And then exhale, threading it underneath the right arm, coming onto the left shoulder. Palms facing up. Inhale as we reach the left hand to the sky. And exhale, threading it underneath the right arm. Inhale, fingers to sky, really opening through that shoulder. And exhale. And then one last time, inhale, hand to sky. And exhale. And then bringing palms together, pushing through that bottom elbow. And just trying to increase the twist through the thoracic spine. Just breathing here. And then bringing the right hand onto the mat, pushing into the hand to bring you back up. And then we'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So bringing the right fingertips to the back of the head. We'll inhale as we lift through the right elbow. And then exhale, tapping it to the inside of the left arm. Inhale, lifting the elbow as high as you can. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And last time. Inhale. And exhale. And then this time as we inhale, reaching that right arm to the sky, lifting with the fingertips. And then exhale, threading it underneath, coming onto your shoulder. Inhale, hand to sky. And exhale as we thread the arm. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then bringing the palms together, pushing through that bottom elbow. And just breathing here. And then left hand comes down, pushing into your hand to bring you all the way back up again. And then tucking the back toes and finding a downward facing dog. Just pedaling through the feet, slowly opening up the backs of the legs. And then finding some stillness, so dropping both heels towards the mat, really spreading the fingers, drawing the hips back so we've got a nice long spine. Navel draws to spine, slight lift of the pelvic floor. And taking that nice oceanic breath, so constricting the throat. On the next inhale, we'll send the right leg to the sky. And then as we exhale, bending that top knee, rolling the knee open, drawing heel towards the bottom. Inhale here. And then exhale, stepping that foot to the top of the mat. Staying on the ball of the back foot and rocking forwards and backwards, opening through the hips. We'll take an inhale as we lift the eye gaze. And then exhale as we slowly straighten that front leg and find pyramid pose. Folding over that front leg. We'll inhale as we bend that front knee, lifting the eye gaze. And then exhale, slowly straightening. And one more time, inhale, lifting the eye gaze. As we shift the weight forwards, and then exhale as we find pyramid pose. And then shifting the weight forwards, bringing that back knee down. Walking the right foot to the center of the mat. We'll inhale as we sweep the hands forwards, finding prayer. And then exhale as we drop the prayer between the shoulder blades, squeezing the elbows, lifting the eye gaze. And just breathing here. And then reaching the prayer to the sky, bringing them either side of that front foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee. Left hand comes to the center of the mat. We'll inhale as we peel the right hand to the sky, finding an easy twist. And then exhale here. Really squeezing that back knee, so keeping the back leg nice and straight. And then floating that right hand down, back knee comes down, and then coming back to find all fours, shifting the weights left to right. And then tucking the toes and pushing up to find a downward facing dog. Again, pedaling the feet, opening up the backs of the legs. And then both heels drop down towards the mat, spreading the fingers and creating a nice long spine again. And just seeing if you can tuck the elbows under slightly. On the next inhale, the left leg sends to the sky. As we exhale, bending that top knee, rolling the knee open, drawing heel towards the bottom. Inhale here. As we exhale, the left foot comes to the top of the mat. Help it if you need to, and then just shifting weight forwards and backwards. Opening through the hips. And then inhale as we lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, slowly lengthening the front leg, finding your pyramid pose, folding over. Inhale as we shift the weight forwards, lifting the eye gaze. And exhale, finding pyramid pose. Inhale, shifting the weight forwards, lifting the eyes. And then exhale, folding over that front leg. Just breathing here. And then slowly bending into that front knee. Walking that left knee towards the left foot towards the center. Dropping the back knee. Inhale as the prayer comes up. And then exhale, dropping it between the shoulder blades. Lifting the eye gaze. And just breathing here. And then bringing the prayer back towards the sky. Bringing the hands either side of that front foot. And then tucking the toes, lifting the back knee. Right hand comes to the center of the mat. And inhale as we peel the left hand to the sky. Finding your easy twist. And then floating that left hand down. And then slowly dragging the back foot in to join the front foot. And then finding a forward fold. So interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhale as we just lift the eye gaze. Drawing shoulder blades together, heels of the hands together. And then exhale as we fold forwards. Bringing the hands over the head. So you should feel that through the front of the shoulders. Just breathing here. And then inhale as we slowly lift the eye gaze, bending the knees, release the hands, sweep the hands up. And then exhale, diving forwards, taking the hands over the head. Inhale as we bend the knees, lift the eye gaze, sweeping the hands. And then exhale, folding forwards, hands overhead. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting the eye gaze, sweeping the hands. And then exhale, finding your forward fold. And 1 more time. Inhale, bending the knees, sweeping hands up. And exhale, interlacing the hands. And then as we inhale, we'll bend the knees, sweep the hands forwards, finding prayer and coming all the way to standing. We'll take a few breaths here in Tadasana. So palms facing forwards, making sure we're rooted through all 4 corners of the feet. We're opening through the chest, tucking the tailbone slightly. And just taking a couple of breaths just to recenter. And then bringing the palms together, beginning to shift the weight into the right foot, extending the left leg out behind, so finding a warrior 3, and then taking a big step to the back of your mat. Prayer travels up, and then exhale as we drop the prayer between the shoulder blades, squeezing the elbows and finding a back bend, lifting the eye gaze. Sending that back heel down towards the mat so we can feel that through the psoas muscle. And then the prayer travels up and then opening to find a warrior 2. So grounding through the back edge of the back foot, drawing this front knee open. Shoulders are relaxed, eye gaze is to the right middle finger. Making sure you've got a nice strong warrior, drawing the feet away from each other on the mat to increase the stretch through the inner thigh. We'll flip the front palm, reach back with the left hand, find the back of the leg and sweep the arm overhead. Reverse warrior. Take a nice big inhale here. As we exhale, right elbow finds right thigh. Left arm sweeps in line with the ear. Inhale to bring you back to find reverse warrior. Eye gaze up. And then exhale, finding extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then slowly straightening that front leg to find Trikonasana. So the back of the right hand comes to the inside of the right leg. And then reaching the left fingers to the sky. Trying to keep the body as flat as you can. Eye gaze to the top hand. And then hands come either side of the front foot, taking a deep bend into the knee. And then slowly dragging the back foot in to join the front. And finding a forward fold, so taking hold of opposite elbows if that feels good. Perhaps finding some gentle swaying left to right. And then slowly rolling all the way to standing. Just rolling one vertebra at a time. Head and neck come last, and then rolling the shoulders down the back, palms facing forwards. Just taking a couple of breaths here into Tadasana before we move into the other side. And then beginning to shift the weight into the left foot, finding prayer at heart center, and finding warrior three, so extending the right leg behind you, and taking a big step to the back of the mat, finding your high lunge. Prayer travels up, inhale here, and then exhale, dropping the prayer between the shoulder blades, squeezing the elbows, lifting through the heart space, lifting the eye gaze. Just breathing here. And then prayer travels up. And then opening to find a warrior two. So again, back foot, grounding the back edge. Bending into that front knee. Shoulders are relaxed, lifting through the wrists. Eye gaze to the left middle finger. Navel draws to spine. Lifting the pelvic floor. And breathing here. And then we'll flip the front palm, reach back with the right hand to find the back of the leg. Sweeping the left arm in line with the ear. Eye gaze up, reverse warrior. Really reaching back with those fingers. We're opening through the left side of the rib cage. We'll take a nice big inhale here. As we exhale, the left elbow finds the right thigh. The right arm sweeps in line with the ear. Extended side angle. Inhale, coming back to find your reverse warrior. Exhale, elbow to thigh. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale. And exhale. And last time, inhale as we travel back. And exhale. And then slowly lengthening your front leg, finding Trikonasana. So bringing the back of the left hand to the inside of the leg. Reaching the right hand to the sky. And again, trying to keep the body as flat as you can. If you're much higher like this, that's fine. Eye gaze up. And then hands come either side of that front foot, bending into that front knee. And then coming onto the ball of the back foot. Just rocking forwards and backwards. And then slowly drawing the back foot in to join the front. And finding a forward fold again. Allowing the top of the body to melt down towards the legs. Lengthening down the back of the neck. And then taking the peace fingers around the big toes. We'll inhale as we lift the eye gaze, taking a deep bend in the knees. And then exhale, slowly folding forwards. Elbows come out to the sides. And then taking a deep bend in the knees again, threading the hands underneath the feet, palms facing up. We'll inhale here and then exhale, folding forwards. And then slowly bending the knees, taking the hands out and slowly rolling all the way to standing. Head and neck come up last, palms facing forwards. We're going to take the same standing sequence, but just a slightly sped up version. So when you are ready, taking hands to heart center, shifting the weight into the right foot and finding your warrior three. So left leg extends out behind you. And then taking a big step to the back of the mat, reaching the prayer to the sky. We'll inhale here as we lift the eye gaze. Exhale as we drop the prayer back, squeezing the elbows, lifting the heart. Inhale as we come up with the prayer. Exhale, opening to find warrior two. Inhale as we flip the palm, coming back to find reverse warrior. Exhale, elbow to thigh, extended side angle. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale as we travel back. Exhale, reaching with those fingers. Inhale. And exhale. Lengthening the front leg to find Trikonasana. Extending the fingers away from each other. And then exhale, finding your pyramid pose. So extending the front leg. Back foot is out by about 45 degrees. And really drawing that right femur bone back into the pelvis. So you should feel this down the back of the right leg. And then bending into the front knee, slowly drawing the back leg in and finding Utkatasana, so finding your chair pose, bringing the feet together and really squeezing the knees, the ankles, the inner thigh together. Hands come to heart center and shifting the weight back into the heels, so we could lift the toes if we wanted to. Extending the arms now to the sky, firing up the back. We'll inhale here and then exhale, powering through the legs to bring you all the way to standing. And then repeating that standing sequence. So beginning to shift the weight into the left foot, finding warrior three, extending the right leg out behind. And then exhale as we step to the back of the mat, prayer travels up. We'll inhale here. Exhale, dropping the prayer. Lifting the heart space, lifting the eye gaze, squeezing the elbows. And then inhale as the prayer travels back to the sky. Exhale, opening to find warrior two, grounding the back edge of the foot. Eye gaze to the left middle finger. Inhale as we flip the palm, reach back and find reverse warrior. Exhale, elbow to thigh, extended side angle. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, traveling back. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale, sweeping the hand to the sky. And exhale. And then lengthening that front leg, finding your Trikonasana, extending fingers away from each other. And then exhale, hands come either side of the front foot, drawing the back foot in a little bit and finding your pyramid pose. So trying to square the hips to the top of the mat, drawing that left femur bone back into the pelvis. And then bending into the front knee, drawing that back leg in to join the front, and then opening to the long edge of your mat. So taking feet parallel to each other. We'll interlace the fingers behind the back, squeezing shoulder blades, heels of the hands together. Inhale here, and then exhale, folding forwards, bringing the hands over the head. Just feel that lengthening down the back of the legs. And then bending the knees, inhale to bring you all the way to standing. And exhale here. And then taking hands to the waist, inhale as we lift the eye gaze. Exhale, folding forwards. And just breathing here. And then taking hold of opposite elbows and just finding some gentle swaying left to right. So just allowing the top half of the body to hang heavy. And you can start to bend the knees as you sway, but just making it quite a slow movement. Just slowly weaving from one side to the other. And then bringing the hands onto the floor in front of you, turning the toes out or the heels in, and finding your goddess pose. So bringing the hands onto the thighs and just beginning to shift the weight left to right. And then finding some stillness. We'll inhale as we lift in the center. And then as we exhale, we'll dip the left shoulder. So we're twisting towards the right, taking the eye gaze behind. Inhale to center. And then exhale, dip the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, dip the left, taking the eye gaze round. Inhale to center. Exhale, dipping the right. And one more time each way. Inhale to center. Exhale, taking the eye gaze behind. Inhale. And exhale. And then coming back to center. And then just walking the feet in towards each other. And we're going to come into a balance. So you might want to come to the wall if you want to. And we're taking hold of the left ankle with the left hand. So making sure you feel nice and stable through the right foot. And just beginning to bring the knees together. Feel that lengthening down the front of the thigh. And just staying as you are at the moment. Just feeling that lengthening. And either staying as you are or beginning to find dancer's pose. So kicking that left heel out behind you. You can bring the right hand onto the thigh. And then slowly coming down, releasing the ankle. And then this time rooting down through the left foot, taking hold of the right ankle and bringing knees together. Pushing that right side of the pelvis forward so we can feel that lengthening down the right thigh. And then either staying as you are or beginning to kick that right ankle out behind you, bringing the left hand onto the thigh, or sweeping the left arm out in front. And then releasing that ankle, giving the legs a shake if you need to. And then coming to the top of your mat, we'll interlace the hands behind the head. And then inhale as we lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, drawing the elbows towards each other, rounding the spine, dropping chin to chest. Inhale as we open through the elbows, lift the eye gaze. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale as we lift the eye gaze open through the elbows. And exhale, rounding the spine, elbows draw together. And one more time, inhale, opening through the elbows, finding a back bend, lifting the eye gaze. And then exhale as we close it all down. And then slowly rolling all the way down. So keeping your hands and your elbows where they are. Just slowly rolling all the way down the length of the spine and then bringing the hands onto the mat. Walking the feet wide, taking the toes out and finding a Buddha squat. Shifting the weight left to right. And then finding your way onto your bottom and finding Navasana. So either keeping toes down, taking shins parallel to the mat or extending the legs. Lifting through the chest, palms facing up. And just breathing here. Really squeezing the thighs. And then bringing the feet down, lengthening the legs and finding a forward fold. So dropping chin to chest and just allowing the back to round. And then slowly coming up. Placing the hands behind you, so fingers facing the toes. Either coming into Purvottanasana or tabletop. So either soles of the feet onto the mat and lifting the hips. Or extending the legs, bringing the heels together. And then lifting toes, draw towards the mat. And lifting the hips as high as you can, wherever you are. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the back of the body. And then slowly lowering. Bringing the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg. Turning over the extended leg and folding forwards. Eye gaze to the right big toe. And trying to create a nice long spine, so leading forwards with the chest. And then releasing, coming up. Placing the left sole of the foot onto the mat. The left hand comes behind. And then inhale as we sweep the right arm overhead and push the hips high. So we're coming into a wild thing. Really reaching back with the right fingers. Taking the chest up towards the ceiling. And then slowly coming down the way you went up. And just changing side with the legs. So extending the left leg. Right sole of the foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Turning over the extended leg and folding forwards. Again, trying to lead forwards with the heart space, so keeping the spine long. Eye gaze to the left big toe. And then coming up, placing the right sole of the foot onto the mat. The right hand comes behind you this time. Inhale as we sweep the left arm up, pushing the hips high. Finding your wild thing. And then slowly coming down the way you went up, bringing the bottom down, and then extending both legs out in front. We'll either come into a supported bridge, or you can come into an active bridge. So you might want to grab a block. We'll bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, rolling onto the back. And then either you will place your block underneath your sacrum, or you can lift the hips, walk the shoulders underneath, and then clasp the hands underneath the bottom. And just squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips a bit higher if you're in an active bridge. And then unclasping the hands, palms facing down, and then slowly rolling all the way down. If you are in a supported bridge, you can stay there for longer if you would like. And then just hugging knees to chest, shifting the weight left to right. And then if you're in a supported bridge, just pushing into the feet to remove your block, slowly rolling down. Releasing any lower back tension, and then coming in to find a happy baby. So arms to the inside of the legs, taking hold of the outside of the feet, soles of the feet up towards the sky. And really drawing those knees to the outside of the armpits, the outside of the rib cage. And then just releasing the left foot, extending the left leg along the mat. So we're in a half happy baby. Just using that hand to draw the knee open still. And then bending that right knee in towards the chest, squeezing it with both hands. And then drawing the knee across the chest to find a spinal twist. Trying to anchor that right shoulder blade down to stop it from lifting, and taking eye gaze to look back at the right fingers. And then slowly rolling onto the back again. And drawing the left knee in towards the chest, finding your half happy baby, extending the right leg along the mat. Really drawing that knee towards the floor So you can feel that down the back of the left leg, feel it through the hamstring. And then hugging the left knee in towards the chest. And then drawing it across the chest and finding your spinal twist. Taking the eye gaze to look at the left fingers. And then slowly rolling onto the back. And then lengthening both legs along the mat, interlacing the fingers, pushing the palms away and just taking a full body stretch. Just realigning the body, pointing the toes. And then grabbing any extra layers if you need to. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, drop the knees wide, and then take hold of opposite elbows above the head. Just letting go of the breath. Closing down the eyes. And just slowly allowing the body to soften. Allowing the knees to drop open. Releasing any tension through the hands so we're not gripping at all. And then slowly just beginning to release the arms. Slowly drawing them down. And either bringing them onto the belly, the womb space, or bringing them beside you. And then slowly beginning to lengthen the legs along the mat. Allowing the toes to drop open. And feeling that connection between the palms of the hands and the skin of your belly. Feeling the warmth penetrating into this area. Taking your awareness to the breath coming in and out through your nostrils. Taking your awareness to the rise and fall of your chest. And taking your awareness to the rise and fall of your belly. And then slowly bringing some movement into the fingers and the toes, beginning to wake the body up. And then taking another full body stretch if that feels good. And then drawing knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees. And then slowly making your way up to find a seated position. Either keeping the eyes closed or keeping the eye gaze down. Bringing the hands to heart center. We'll seal our practice with an Om. So taking a nice big inhale. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I will see you again soon.